Yeah, in Southeast Asia, Raging Potato tends to play the Weaver on the off lane as well. So it's still somewhat of a possibility. It's not out of the question, but I still would prefer
True,
a
yeah.
off lane Spirit Breaker. Overall, I really like the Lina pick. I like the Shadow Demon as well. Shadow Demon as a save for the Lina. And I told you we're going to be seeing a hero that likes to stand its ground and just fight. And Lina is one of those heroes, given that the Spirit Breaker and the Weaver are very mobile. So they can be on any part of the map. The Shadow Demon could be protecting the Lina. They try to go for the Lina, disruption save, and then the Spirit Breaker and the Weaver, they turn the fight around. It is a possibility here for V Gaming, and it is a one I like. Also, though, CIS Rejects, when they see this, they're going to be trying to catch those heroes on the side lanes, the Spirit Breaker, the Weaver, but we saw in the previous one that their ability to catch people on the other part of the map, it didn't work out that well, and now they'll go for the Void Spirit just to try to be a little bit more annoying to the side of E-Gaming, who don't really have that much lockdown looking at the Void Spirit.
Also, fun fact for V-Gaming here, they don't have that many unique heroes per player.
10 seconds to pick.
So what I'm looking at here is Arrow is the only one who's played Spirit Breaker out of this entire draft. Weaver, Lina, Shadow Demon, all new fresh picks for V-Gaming. They have not played them before. So we have 3 unique heroes from them in one singular draft. Do you think that imposes a bit of a threat? Because, you know, there's no statistical number to give out of these ones.
Yeah, if V Gaming have been practicing this one or these heroes and CIS Rejects have never played against them or never saw them on the side of V Gaming, then definitely it's going to be a problem. But if V Gaming are just pulling it out and being like, these are good heroes, then they're probably going to be making some mistakes that are going to be too obvious for CIS Rejects not to use them. So I think we're going to have to see which one it is. But in the sense that you ask of a tactical thing, I think CIS Rejects aren't exactly sure what we Gaming are going to be doing with these heroes. They might know where they're going to put them, but they're not exactly sure how they're going to be playing this lineup.
Yeah. Well, if you do think about it, they do have Demonic Purge. That's going to help out catching heroes. We've got minus armor to help the cores with right-clicking, so would like to see the Lina as opposed to right-clicker build. You go for the Silver Edge too at some point. Spirit Breaker could be a good 4, but then in that case, I would almost put this Weaver as a carry. Though CIS Rejects thinks that it is not. So with this Luna ban, let's see if they ban another core, or another carry, I mean, so that they might think that V Gaming is playing Weaver as a 3 instead of a 1. So they have that tiny bit of flex that they still have until their last pick. CIS Rejects has the final pick of this entire draft. They are running out of time, though. PL, another hero that they're going to struggle dealing with. Right now, there's no good hero against it. Maybe the Lina is decent, but Lina needs a BKB to survive the Phantom Lancer. Outside of that, I think the Morphling ban makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it does. It's something that CIS Rejects like to play. Also, I'm very curious here that CIS Rejects aren't banning out the Anti-Mage. I don't know if TA2000 likes the hero that much, but it is one of the best laners against the Sand King. And looking at these heroes on the side of CIS Rejects, they don't deal well with it. And coming back to the point that you said we might see a right-click Lina, I think V Gaming aren't going to have any issue with the damage in this one. Looking at the heroes of CIS Rejects, if they get locked down, they will die. So it just comes down to it, will you be able to catch them, right? Bane, Mirana, Void Spirit, Sand King, these are not tanky heroes unless they get insanely farmed. Yes, sure, Void Spirit will have an Axe, will have a Sanjin Kaya down the line, but still, one stun and the Laguna Blade, and most of his life is going to be taken away. So V Gaming, I think that we might even see a magic damage Lina, and finally we see an anti-mage ban. I think it's the right choice for sure, even though you have some lockdown.
Okay. Okay, yeah, we're really mixing up the deck here. Treant Protector, last pick for V Gaming. Why not? This hero is very good against Mirana, Sand King, Void Spirit. That's feeling like an overgrowth counter to 3. Not a bad pick.
Not a bad one. Weaver plus the Treant, they do so much damage. Bugs reduce your armor, and then here comes this guy with a heavy hand, you know? And he just punches you into the ground, literally. So Sand King, a hero that doesn't have that much armor, will definitely be struggling against him. Mirana also level 1, quite susceptible to being brought down. So I expect the Mirana to start with the boots in that lane, just to make sure that you don't die. But overall, quite interesting from V Gaming. Not something I was expecting for sure. And the Terrorblade will be a response, which they don't have many counters to it. But if all of your teammates are dead, caught inside of a trap, then
Carry
he will
Weaver.
be a...
Carry Weaver with Treant Protector. So Weaver, Treant, Spirit Breaker, Shadow Demon. What do you think about the Spirit Breaker, Shadow Demon duo here?
I think that they have a potential to be annoying to the Terrorblade, and that the Shadow Demon really won't be staying in that lane for too long. He just wants the Spirit Breaker to get solid amounts of armor, and then he might start playing around the Lina. So I like that they have the mobility to move away from that lane, but they're not going to be pressuring the Terrorblade super hard unless Ramses makes a mistake and gets a few poison stacks in a bad position. I think it's a solid one, but the Spirit Breaker allowing the Shadow Demon to move away, I think it's going to be the most important thing, because the mid lane is the one where you want to get those kills.
Very important game here for V Gaming if they're able to close the series out 2-0 with this draft. 4 unique heroes in one singular draft. The Spirit Breaker, the only hero they have played so far in the course of this tournament. Obviously, we have some comforts here with Hayes, with Lina, but my main point is there are 4 unique heroes they haven't played at all during the course of DPC. So if this one works, if they pull this one out, you got to hand it down to them that they have succeeded with their mission. CIS Rejects, though, they have the late game, they have the TB, they've got the Sand King. They might want to even stretch it as far as possible. And we have,
and they have a much easier.
Balls.
They have a much easier lineup to execute. This lineup on the side of V Gaming, it's not easy by any means, because there's multiple things that you can do. Am I gonna defend the tower? Am I gonna push the tower? Am I gonna play around Lina? Is the Lina gonna be farming? Usually she doesn't want to rotate, so you want to play around it. So I'm expecting a lot of brawling around the mid lane, and it's gonna come down to who gets the catch first, right? But V Gaming, they have a good response. CIS Rejects, they have a good response. So which one of the big spells connects first? Is it gonna be the LSA? Is it gonna be the arrow? That's probably going to be the team that gets the kill. But obviously, as I said, V Gaming, they just have a lot of options. In CIS Rejects, it's pretty straightforward. Stun into arrow for the kills, and defend the towers with the Sand King to make sure that your Terrorblade gets a ton of farm. When the Terrorblade is super strong, V Gaming, it's going to be very, very tough for them to deal with him. So overall, CIS Rejects, much easier lineup to play. But V Gaming, given how well they played in the previous one, I'm expecting them to give us a hell of a game too here.
They definitely have that positive momentum in their favor, and I feel like CIS Rejects has been disturbed. You can almost say that the sleeping giant might have been awoken with this draft. Ramses Terrorblade, definitely a force to be reckoned with. Needs to have a good game. Just like in game 1, he had free farm, but he was unable to convert that into a W because they were getting punctured everywhere by V Gaming. They played their aggression well, caused them to make a couple of mistakes. Timbersaw playing out the baits in the early game. Things worked out pretty nicely for them.
And CIS Rejects here bringing a billion heroes to the bottom lane just to deal with the trees here. They were expecting maybe V Gaming to try to protect their those trees, but not gonna be happening. And Toha, he will not have all of those trees to play around with. Not a lot of trees to hide the sentries for the Sand King. So overall, it is a slight win for CIS Rejects that might actually hurt the Treant and the Weaver in the lane, and the sentry battle on the bottom lane gonna be very important. We can see Roger, he brought 2, and the Toha, he brought 2 sentries as well, understanding how important lane control is gonna be down there.
All bounties will be 2 for 2, same as in the last game, tied and split. Void Spirit versus the Lina in our mid matchup. Depressed Kid had a very good time with his Kunkka.
Well, now he won't have that
Now he
time.
won't
The Void Spirit isn't the type of hero that gets shut down by anyone. Lina will harass him, but once the bottle is out, and we can see that he didn't buy that much in the beginning, just to make sure that it comes out as fast as possible. But overall, the Lina should be coming out ahead in this matchup, but it's still gonna come down to who comes out stronger in the mid game. Is gonna come down to support rotations, who gets the kill, if they can get the disruption into stun onto the Void Spirit, or maybe a sleep into an arrow.
Yep, sleep into arrow. I feel like CIS Rejects could potentially move their supports into mid for the 6-minute action rune when TB wants to move away from this lane to farm into the jungle. So potentially leaving the top lane open, allowing the supports to rotate towards mid and help out the Void Spirit is a reality that V Gaming is kind of going to have to read to. So Lina has to react accordingly. If you want to contest, You're going to need the help of a support in that region. Shadow Demon most likely with the disruption. Treant Protector is just too slow and doesn't really have the necessary, the capability to help out with contesting the action rune. So Weaver's always going to have the Treant protecting at all times. Lina doesn't necessarily want to give a first kill to this Void Spirit either, because when they get that 6-minute rune, they're going to have level 6s most likely as well. Arrow already forced to use a salve.
That's actually quite nice, I have to say, just making sure that he has to burn through that region. CIS Rejects, their lanes, the side lanes at least, are doing quite well. Mirana and the Sand King doing really well here on the bottom lane. The Mirana not taking that much damage. Roger blocking the camp, securing the lane for his Sand King. And now though, Pasha is gonna get gone on, and this level 2 is where the Sand King is at his weakest, level 2 and 3, before he has 2 points in the Sandstorm. So V Gaming, they need to use that to push their advantage. If not, it's gonna be tough later on in this lane.
Yeah, at the same time as TA2000 punishes the Sand King, we saw the arrow onto the range creep, but look at this potential kill on Sand King. Not really going to go all the way through, and Toa manages to use both of his abilities to slow and push down this SK away from this lane. And now he's got no business into this lane, so he's just going to have to live with the experience given. And he walks into range every time Roger shoots an arrow. So it's not a complete loss here for Pasha, but he would like to get more.
Yeah, Roger, he got 7 CS, so overall, the offlane isn't doing that badly, but the Sand King is being shut down, and this is something that you want to be afraid of when you're the Sand King if you get this much crushed in the lane, considering that you do need a early Blink Dagger, and having a naked Blink 12 minutes in, it won't really help your case that much either. So we'll see if maybe Roger can make some stacks, make sure that Pasha does have at least somewhat of a solid game. For now, it doesn't seem like he's gonna be trying to do it. For now, he's just protecting the Sand King. And one bad thing about this hero, you get the creeps into a good position, you're like, okay, I can farm here, and suddenly the Caustic Finale that you had to get level 1 is gonna make you go towards the enemy tower and make you face the enemies head on.
They have been wasting so much regen here on CIS Rejects side just to keep this Sand King in the lane, and I hope it pays off, because otherwise they're just spending all of their money on building more sustain. Roger at least has picked up 8 kills with these arrows and a couple of right clicks in between too, so at least they have 20 CS picked up. They've been able to score almost every last hit so far. It does go as a bit of a split though. Weaver takes a bit of damage here. Sentry ward placed down. I'm not sure if they actually got info on it. Antoa pings down on the ground, so I believe they might have actually picked up info on that sentry placed by the Dire team. Treant cutting the wave. They are they're having a bit of confusion in the trees. They don't know where to go out.
Yeah, that's something that does happen to the creeps. But overall, I'm liking how CIS Rejects are approaching this bottom lane. They were weaker at some point, but the Sand King is approaching level 4, pushing out the waves is gonna be a lot easier for him. And when the creeps are in your tower, it's gonna be very hard for the Weaver to deal with it. That is the advantage of the Sand King, that he can push in, and the Weaver and the Treant, they can't do it. So CIS Rejects understanding it and using it well.
Yeah, and another arrow from the Mirana, so make that 9 last hits now with arrow. Meanwhile, top lane, a bit of a scuffle going on. Arrow looks to be going down as first blood, and FNG does Lace get the last hit in? He does. So return kill, but Ramses looking for a potential double here. Spirit Breaker drops to low HP. The cut down tree. Ramses is going to get this one. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't get the second kill. So close. Pasha is also being punished in the bot lane. Burrow Strike is there. Arrow fall off from Roger. Sand King low on HP and barely gets out from the Nature's Grasp. But Treant Protector, he usually has the advantage. But does he find him? He sees him. He sees Pasha. He knows exactly where he is. And TA2000 gets the right click in. That's going to be a second kill for V Gaming.
They heard those deep breaths of the Sand King there, just being just like, I'm okay, but nah, you're not. They will feel the air trembling there, and they'll find the kill. So V Gaming, they get another one going their way, though. The first blood, if I'm not mistaken, did go to CIS Rejects, which is still gonna be quite okay. And it was it was actually Ramses that got it, so that's quite nice, considering they are waiting for his timing in this game, considering the heroes they have. But FNG in a little bit of trouble here in the river.
Yep, disruption there. Just Depressed Kid is going to take the regen rune for himself. Arrow's going to die to the Astral Steps. Lace is going to keep up the pressure with taking F and G out of play. So support for support. Arrow's the one who actually picks the kill up in the end. Hayes has been farming really well. was on the other side of the river, unable to participate in the action rune contest. With this regen, Void's gonna ramp up a bit of farm. Bottom though.
Bottom lane Pasha.
Yep. 6 seconds for Burrow Strike. TA2000 needs a couple more right clicks in. Might just be able to get it in time and will have it. Pasha barely got his cooldown off. Roger finds a return kill on Antoa with the Star Storm, level 1. It's enough damage. TA2000 also walks into the Mirana, and Mirana doesn't want to stay here for too long. Shikuchi all the way through, wants to get that Geminate attack, but still on cooldown for another 2 seconds. And we have 7 kills already on the board, Harry.
Yeah, finally some action, finally some blood. It has become pretty dull here sometimes, and we just have to look at people hitting creeps and enjoy the view. But now the teams are going to be giving us some action here, and it is bound to happen with the Weaver being... Yeah, with the Weaver being position 1, you know, you kind of want to go for the aggression, and of course the Shadow Demon Spirit Breaker quite mobile, going for the runes. There's always gonna be something happening on the map, which when you're on the aggressive or when you're running away, someone is bound to make a mistake and die. Though CIS Rejects, they're bringing more heroes to the mid lane than V Gaming are themselves, and considering the Lina should be the one that won this matchup, I would have expected V Gaming to push the issue, but now CIS Rejects, they're going to be using their Void Spirit for an aggressive move.
Yeah, they do. And they have the mobility, they have the capability. I think we already discussed this as well, how well CIS Rejects is able to move their supports around the map compared to V Gaming, who have like Treant stuck in the lane. Pasha, he is behind enemy lines. They've got a sentry, and we'll find him. At least they force him to place it down. He's got a Burrow Strike available. Where does he want to go? Where does he want to die, I guess? Let's get to the high ground with the bug still ticking on him. Chewing his feet, and one more tick should do it. There's no camp to be farmed either, so there's no deny possibility. I think he was calculating on it, but nobody home. Bottle refill
maybe he
also.
likes that hand.
Yep.
Oh, he's in a little bit of trouble.
Yep, Arrow's the one to die, and Hayes is being surrounded by enemies, and he's got too much traffic here. He's got the LSA to buy some time, and here comes Antoa. Takes away the Nightmare. Dissimulate does connect on the Lina. Lina low 1 HP, 170 remaining, with the Spirit Breaker coming in as well. And Lays will take down Depressed Kid, and even Mirana trying to chase down this Mirana. Lina will survive. The living armor from Antoa is going to be enough, and they find themselves the kills, and TA2000 picks up the double. They are just not getting it to work. They can't get it to work. And with a 3-to-1 trade around, with the living armor from Antoa, the healing from the Leech Seed, everything amping up, a bit of juking in the trees, cutting out vision, not having the good luck, V Gaming rotate in, and everything clicks together.
Yeah, that's just a little bit unfortunate. You know, the Lina barely surviving 3 times there, and you aren't able to kill her. CIS Rejects, they actually had the right idea going in there first, forcing out the TPs. Usually reactionary plays aren't the ones that you want to be looking for, considering that some of your heroes might actually die, but the Shadow Demon was there. He's like, I'm gonna take that arrow for you, my friend, and because of it, the Lina ultimately does survive barely, but in the end, it's enough for CIS Rejects to get baited in too deeply, and V Gaming will use their mobility to help the Lina in the end. So CIS Rejects, I actually loved their move, but they just missed a little bit of damage there, and I think once the disruption came out from the Lina, in hindsight now it's easy to say, but they definitely should have gone out and be content with just 1 kill being given to them there.
Okay, that's a... I will not say it's an attempt. They are not even going to go for the attempt. So they revealed themselves. Weaver's already out to safety. CIS Rejects, they're wasting a bit of time here. Radiant Scan used in top. They know somebody's in the trees. So they're trying to scout out some info here in bottom. TA2000 going in overgrowth on 2. They might just get the Sand King kill. There's no Burrow Strike. There's nothing. The arrow hits the creep wave as well. Depressed Kid. He's now alone. TA2000 able to get the time lapse off. And a 2v3 scenario, but V Gaming still get the kill for themselves.
Yeah, and V Gaming... Yeah, V Gaming, they protected the bottom tower, and they'll get the top tower now. So CIS Rejects getting everything taken away from them, but Ramses, he finally understands that his team, they might need his help a little bit. Shows himself in the mid lane, which should force out at least some rotations from V Gaming and slow down their advance on the top lane. And now Hayes comes back. There's gonna be an all-out brawl in the mid lane fairly soon, and I think CIS Rejects are gonna be the ones forcing the battle out.
9-4 V Gaming. They have come really prepared for this series. They are showing it not only just draft-wise, but gameplay-wise. Catching maybe them off guard a little bit too. Nice arrow into the charge, but I don't think it's necessarily going to be enough. They try to kill off the bug off of Roger. The illusion's chasing the Morana. And look at the right-click damage from TA2000. So much armor has been chewed away. That's such an easy kill to take. Nether Strike's available on Pasha. Tries to force out the Burrow Strike. Doesn't quite get it.
He just roars at him. You know, you want to show, you look at
Dominance.
me, I'm almost level 9 and you're just level 6, so be afraid. And Pasha, definitely afraid there of the Spirit Breaker. He'll get his level 7, but overall, he's definitely struggling.
Oh, Fiend Script attempt here from FNG. They've got the Remnant there and controlling the Lina. Lina needs backup. Do they have anybody to save Hayes? They've got the SD coming, but it's not going to be enough. Arrows a little bit too late. He just needed a second more. And they could have potentially caused a fight there. But a good read from CIS Rejects. Depressed Kate getting the kill on Hayes. And Lina punished. With the rotation, FNG's Fiend Script is there to make it sure.
Lina is your go-to kill. We talked about hitting the timings. Lina's BKB is the timing in this game, so you want to be getting those kills as much as possible. And we have a ward behind the tower for CIS Rejects, so their aggression here, it should continue. With this kind of a lineup, you're okay with just getting that mid lane tower down because you want to open up the map for pickoffs. That's what your lineup is good at. It's good at bringing down heroes, and for that, this tower needs to fall. But that's where the Treant Protector, the last pick for V-Gaming, comes into play.
Disruption, Nether Strike's available, Remnant used. That's a Spirit. Okay, they make sure the Overgrowth goes through so that this Void will not accidentally escape. They didn't want to give any chance for mistakes.
Yeah, every single spell drop. I think they were batching their keyboards with their mouses over the void space, like die, 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 and finally he does go down. They kind of annihilate them there completely. Looked pretty inhumane at some point, but overall V-Gaming, they do get the kill, and with that, CIS Rejects, without their Void Spirit, they can't be on the aggressive. Pasha, he needs a Blink Dagger, so when they see him on the bottom lane, they know which one is gonna be the main hero. It's definitely gonna be the Void Spirit. So one team, it has a clear view, kill the Lina, the other one, kill the Void Spirit, and this time around, V-Gaming are gonna be more successful.
Yeah, how often do you run into those situations where everybody just smashing their keyboards and go, I need kill? Like, just a bunch of ogres just smashing their way, trying to get kills. I mean, sometimes it works. I guess you could bind your ulti ability on every button on your keyboard and just use your fist to hit it. See a lot of
I think that's the right way to play, Dota.
I mean, if you're playing Skywrath or Disruptor, I guess that could work.
Anyways, the smokes from V-Gaming and CIS Reject seems like they're both going to be unsuccessful. Hayes without the BKB going on the aggressive on the enemy part of the map, it's probably not the smartest idea, but fighting around the mid lane, that would be something that you want to do. But grabbing the Bane, not the easiest one, so overall, I think both teams are going to be content with just staying back. One team farming on the Terrorblade and V-Gaming trying to get their BKBs, their first items, the Lincolns, and then they're going to be going in. So T-Panda, we're going to be seeing a big brawl coming out soon, given that CIS Rejects, they're gonna have the blink, and V-Gaming will have their item timings as well. So that team fight could actually decide the next 5 minutes of the game, depending who comes out on top.
If I've learned anything from the past 4 or 5 years of working in esports, soon TM is a very broad range of time.
Is it?
But it's possible that it might happen soon, or it might happen soon. CIS Rejects wanting to force some attention in bottom. Mantis style soon up on this TV. Still wants to get that +1 item on top of it to really have effectiveness. The basic Manta into Scotty. Unless he feels like he's a perky piper and wants to go for a bit of damage instead. I think we've sometimes seen a casual Crystallis pickup. Might even go for a BKB if he feels like he's threatened by all this control. He's already got Manta to get rid of the Overgrowth. But there's still 3-4 other spells that will keep this TB from participating in fights properly. And can also just get quickly bursted from 100 to 0. Might even consider just building stats above anything else. So if he needs to survive, Sunder becomes into a big importance, big role. Might as well just go for Scotty, maybe even early Aghanim.
these towers, these tier 1s not dropping for the side of CIS Rejects, they're gonna make them desperate at some point, and 9 Pasha is gonna get charged up and most likely brought down here with the Weaver coming over. But Lays,
TP
seeing the
rotation forced.
TPs...
3 TPs were forced at least. They're gonna get the Burrow Strike, but the Yules is connecting at the same time. They're overlapping. Pasha, Epicenter, he's gonna lose his life. Sand King down. Roger with the TP, but there's already 5 members of V Gaming here. What do CIS Rejects do with just 3 heroes here? They've sent Ramses in to join in. He's not farming. He's checking the area, he's checking the situation, and F&G also joins in. At least they force out the Moonlight Shadow, and a 4-man smoke from V Gaming might just connect in the opportune spot. They see the TV, they've seen Ramses. Where's the Spirit Breaker? Does he charge? He's waiting for it. Charges of cooldown. And now we go. They've got the ulti. Disruption is applied. The BKB from Lina. Lina being controlled with the Fiend Script. There's nobody to cancel it. He's getting a full duration Fiend Script off. They need to get this Lina off right now. She's now finally released. The Burrow Strike connecting on the back onto the Spirit Breaker. And there we go. Sunder has been used. TA2000 wants to go in for the damage. Takes down the Bane. 1 for 1. Better more views.
Yeah, 1 for 1. Okay, there's not gonna be a continuation of this fight. I feel like that disruption there from Marrow, it was really badly used. He could have saved it to save the Lina, possibly. Then he had to pop the BKB instantly. Fiend's Grip, then even if the disruption was ready, it wouldn't help you at all. So I'm not sure why they went with the disruption on the Terrorblade. He was definitely caught with the Demonic Purge. He couldn't move an inch. So very weird approach coming out there from V Gaming. I think it was a communication issue between the heroes, between the players. They were like, are we gonna disrupt him? Are we gonna charge him? What's gonna happen? And in the end, they just overlap with the two, allowing the Terrorblade to survive. He just walks out, and CIS Rejects are gonna be more than happy with their trade. They saved the mid lane tower, and they could say arguably win a fight, given that they brought down a core and lost only a support themselves.
At least for now. The downside is there's no Metamorph, so at least V Gaming know that there's a 2-minute timer of 1 core being out of damage, so they're trying to force this mid tower down, which they should be able to take down. CIS Rejects can't do anything about it. They have 0 ultis. They have no ultis at the moment, and Toa is keeping this bot tower alive. CIS Rejects, they're banging their heads against the wall, and that brick wall is not really giving up, because this tower is becoming nearly impossible to take down. There's a big creep wave, and Toa does not want to show himself, but the Spirit Breaker is coming for the rescue. That's a lot of money for this SB. The bar is going to be happy with that. Gets caught in the Nightmare. He's still inside a sentry. Arrow is there, and they see him. They're going to go. They're turning the attention. Epicenter being used, but the disruption. Save Pasha's going to burn his ulti for nothing, but he still gets it in. And now Antoa goes for the overgrowth, and Pasha might be the one to die. V Gaming turn it around. All through the Architect Arrow with the save with the disruption. They thought they could kill Lays. No, sir. No, you don't.
Yeah, this is what happens when you kind of get desperate, because none of the towers have fallen. You have this lineup that wants to get pickoffs, but with all of the towers being down, V Gaming, it's easy for them to play. Your Terrorblade is farming. That's the good side for the side of CIS Rejects. He's not being touched. But V Gaming, in terms of map control, they're still doing quite well. And now Weaver caught, but his teammates are in the vicinity, and he will not be in trouble.
Hayes is coming in, going for the stun, canceling it. Time lapse. Weaver is back to full HP. Fiend Script has been burnt. And I have to say, Harry, I did not honestly think that V Gaming would give us this hell of a fight against CIS Rejects. Right now, everything is clicking together. You have a desperate Dire team against you, and they are pulling out potentially maybe one of the biggest upsets here in the course of this Division 2. FNG being charged in by Lays, getting the kill on the Bane too. Depressed Kid, he's in the front. He's got the Remnant to hold the Weaver back. The Arrow connection, and again, Arrow, he is the stronger Arrow out of these two. Pasha goes in for the stun with the Burrow Strike, but he doesn't do anything. Depressed Kid is now committing to this with the Astral Step. Jumps back. They've also forced the Meta War from Ramses, and Ramses, you can probably start to hear some very angry communication going on this Dire side, because nothing is going their way, Harry.
Yeah, nothing is going their way at this point. Exactly, Panda. But he do stop the Roach from happening. I think V Gaming, the main part of that Roach is force out the team fight from the enemies when they can't fight. CIS Rejects, when it comes to team fighting, Epicenter is their biggest spell. And if it's not up, V Gaming, they know they'll definitely win a fight. But now with the smoke, maybe they'll finally get a kill here. Arrow, is it possible that they don't see him? They don't put down the ward. Arrow is just looking at him. He even gets a disruption to them, and he will fall because of it. He has been too damn aggressive there for no reason. An arrow does fall, but still, it is a
seemed too
bit
good.
of
Hey,
disrespect.
it might have been bait though. TV Gaming, they're coming here and with force. They've got overgrowth. They're going to find FNG with a nightmare. Lay's going in with a charge. They've already taken down Roger. They've got to dissimulate. The press kit will save himself, but Roger and FNG died. Shadow Demon buying time for the bait there and allowing V Gaming to connect. And now they open up Roshan. Was that a 200 IQ bait or pure luck? I think that was almost the first one. Depressed Kid, he's found himself a target, but Laze is quick with his fingers, going for the Nether Strike. They're catching the Void Spirit, Overgrowth being used as well. LSA stun getting through. Depressed Kid is dead too, and V Gaming are rocking the world right now.
Yeah, awesome done there from them. I think it was definitely an idea from V Gaming saying, hold them there, we're coming, don't regard your life, it doesn't matter. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna give my life for the greater cause. The greater cause was forcing CIS Rejects into a bad fight that ultimately gives 3 kills to V Gaming. And even the Aegis, these heroes now on their side, they don't die. They will give the Aegis to the Weaver, and we might expect the A2000 to be very aggressive right now. And CIS Rejects, they might only have the option to run away from him, because killing him once is a big problem, and killing him twice is next to impossible at this point, unless he's left completely alone.
Early game has now been secured for the Radiant squad, but this is where the hard mission approaches. You've done well for the first 20 minutes. I think the next 10 to 15 really define who's going to win this game, because Terrorblade has been farming throughout this whole time. Manta style was skipped for the duration to get the Scotty in between, so Ramses preferred the stats above it. Wanted to get the slow because he's been forced to fight early. He doesn't really do much with a Manta, so that Scotty... Even though he was very close to just buying the straight up the Manta style, he only needed an ultimate or plus the recipe. Right now, they are smoking up on V Gaming's side. Killing this TB is becoming a bigger and bigger importance mission. Like, he's turning into this public enemy #1 slowly. If they can take out the big damage dealer, maybe even force out the Metamorph without losing any heroes, those are keys for V Gaming. And you talked about this lineup being hard to execute for V Gaming. I think they've done an excellent job so far.
Yeah, they've done an amazing job in this game. I have to say, there were a few times where they could have maybe been a bit faster, but then the game would be completely clean and they would be a tier 1 team right now. But they're definitely improving. Every single series that we are looking at them, they're looking better and better. I'm loving their movements around the map. Though still, when it comes to the gold lead, it's just not that big. And looking at the TB, he could be the one that potentially out-carries everyone in this game. V Gaming, they need to continue playing well like this if they want to get the victory.
Found in the trees, they forced out the Moonlight Shadow. Marana is so squishy. The A2000 is making her way in. The epicenter bait is coming out. Basha only catches Lays, and there's the Fiend script. They can't get to the Weaver. The Weaver is being caught, but the Aegis might just get burnt out. The BKB from Haze, and they can't kill the Weaver. They have absolutely no damage whatsoever. They're trying to TP out. They've realized that we cannot kill this Weaver. 1800 HP is what we needed. All of our resources were spent keeping every hero away. We got the full duration Fiend script, but nothing else. Remnant onto the Weaver. Pasha still there. Burst Strike stun. Resonant Pulse for a bit of extra damage. He's got the time lapse, and now TA2000 fully committing to the dive. Going for Pasha. Pasha's got nowhere to save himself. They got the Nightmare save for a bit longer. Pasha hiding into the trees. TA2000 still hiding in there as well, but the Dragon Slave is going to take the kill. And Antoa might have gone a bit too deep to TA2000. He's sneaking away from the other side. Might run into Roger, might run into Ramsey. TA2000's courier dies. That was his teleport scroll. Now he's all by himself, and this is an opportunity for CIS Rejects. The arrow connects. Scotty, damage. Everything's there for the Weaver. Depressed Kid with 400 HP. Hayes is still hitting from this long range. Metamorph has been used too. Lincoln's popped on the Weaver. Here comes Lays with a charge onto the FNG Bane, but he's also moving himself out at maximum movement speed. And looks like V Gaming will just give away their Aegis. They forced a couple ultis from CIS Rejects. They can wait for the Metamorph to run out. CIS Rejects, though, still can't get that unique fight for them.
The prize is mine.
But still, they do defend the top tier 2, which is going to be very important.
They do.
We'll see
They
if
do.
Gaming attempt to go for it again. They do have a glyph on CIS Rejects, so haven't used that. And I have to say that fight for them was quite nice. We didn't touch on the Weaver having the Aghanim Shard, so that's a big deal, especially playing against the Sand King, Miran ult, the Shadow Amulet on the Bane. They're always going to be able to get revealed. And TA 2000, he doesn't need anyone to chase with him. But we saw that his Aegis could get broken, could get taken down easily. And now without 2 lives, he has to be very careful how he approaches everything. They did use the glyph here, CIS Rejects and V Gaming. They want this tower down as fast as possible. The Stevie is becoming the problem, and they can definitely feel it.
They are. Ramses is getting bigger the whole time, and like you see in that last fight, they couldn't do anything about the Terrorblade. They can focus every other hero down, but Terrorblade is an issue. He has already built up over 3,000 HP. Satanic getting closer. So CIS Rejects, they have those tanky heroes towards the late game. Most importantly, a good damage-dealing tanky hero. And Zola getting caught in the Nightmare. Arrows there. Epicenter. Where you want to use it? Nice spy line up there from Nine Pasha. And they've got themselves 2. They've got the Weaver. They've got the Treant. And is this the time to start the comeback for CIS Rejects? Now that their lineup is finally turning to a working, running clockwork. Shadow Demon is going to be the next one. Double kill for the Void Spirit. And they're feeling that their time is slowly approaching upon them. And V Gaming, clock is ticking.
Yeah, this is the thing for V Gaming. They were focusing down Pasha every single fight, but they were allowing the Void Spirit to get stronger and stronger. And now look at him. He has all the items that he needs. This Void Spirit is stacked, and he'll even get the gem. The thing is, your BKBs, they need to be used to kill the Void Spirit. Ignore the Sand King while you have the BKBs and the Depressed Kid. He'll catch the Lina and most likely force out the BKB here if Case does want to live, and he'll go for it.
That is now down to a 6-second BKB for the Lina. So all the extra charges have been burnt out, and that is a small victory for CIS Rejects. Most importantly, winning that last fight, the big streak from TA 2000. 740 gold for Pasha. Pasha getting himself a really good burrow strike in that last fight, and they are smoked with 4, while TB Illusions are splitting and pushing bottom. V Gaming hiding in their base. It feels like they know.
Yeah, they did smoke under vision, but usually when you see that, you want to respond yourself. So V Gaming, I would like them to go for an aggressive move somewhere, get on their high ground, but no, the Weaver will get caught again.
Disruption safe, Disrupt Kit going. Now Anto is looking for the overgrowth. It's connecting onto 3. TA2000 gets the time lapse off, but Stream Protector's already going down. Metamorph on the TB. He does get Demonic Purge and pushed away, but Anto will the one with fall. Depressed Kit looking for the angle for himself to jump in. But they are not taking this fight to CIS Rejects, and Ramses will be happy to hack down this tower. Backdoor protection up for a couple seconds, but the creep wave arrives once again to take that away. They will finish it off. Glyph being used. Depressed Kid's already TPing away. There's Haze inside the jungle. He's under a ward. They found him. They've seen the Lina.
He sees them as well. So.
They finished the tower. Now they're making their way towards Lina, but Lina is already shadow bladed and out.
This could be good for V Gaming.
They're charging.
They're
turning it around. They're charging onto the Void Spirit. He doesn't see it coming at all. He's onto the ward and the LSA. Nice Nightmare save from FNG, but the Nether Strike's still there. Yules will be used. Lay's looking for another charge on the Void Spirit. Silence might be there, but it's not going to be enough. And Pasha goes for the second Yule save. Remnants onto the Spirit Breaker. They can't get their hands on this Void Spirit. They just can't.
Yeah, it's an amazing play coming out from CIS Rejects. It came to the top lane with the 2 of them. If it was just the Void Spirit hunting, he definitely would have lost his life. And V Gaming, they know they have to make something happen. Their lineup is good at running towards enemy heroes, but the problem is all of the lanes are constantly pushed in by these TB Illusions, and Ramses just doing an amazing job in this game, getting the farm, and now with the stacked up Illusions, he's gonna be the one controlling the map on his own, allowing his team to have all the vision of the map, to have all the information that V Gaming might be trying to go for an aggressive play. And look at this CIS Rejects. They see that V Gaming are missing on the map, and they're immediately hiding. As soon as someone shows on the bottom lane, they disperse and go to get more farm around the map.
A golden thread. Vent.
reveals your demise.
Without the SD, Weaver is susceptible to dying. So they could go for a push, they could force out the fight, but V Gaming, they just know that they can't respond right now. Their SD is the one that needs to turn everything around, it needs to allow the Weaver. They walk into the Roche, walk out, but Roger, he feels it. He feels that this guy is back up, and CIS Rejects, it wouldn't surprise me if they just walk in, and Ramses, with full confidence, he'll be going in to face the dragon, and this dragon will be slain. V Gaming, they just can't fight. If they attempt to do it, they could just be losing heroes, but on the other hand, if you allow a free Roche, the high ground push will be coming in no time.
Radiant has lost their top tower. Dire's bottom tower is being attacked. Dire's bottom tower under fire. Dire have fortified their towers. Radiant's top tower immortality. Dire's bottom tower is being attacked. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's top tower is being attacked.
He's thinking about it though, still. Okay, not thinking about it. He is gonna be like, I'm the strongest.
To restore the void within.
Yeah, it's actually pretty decent when you get super farmed in 32 minutes in. He is 25k net worth. Not even close on the other heroes of V Gaming. They cannot touch him. And V Gaming, I think they made a big mistake in this game, not focusing down the Void Spirit, but just always going for the Sand King. It was the Weaver going in, and that allowed the Press Kid to get out every single time. Sure, Ramses is going to be the one that ends the game, but the one that actually created so much space for him is going to be this Void Spirit, and him being this strong, he'll definitely make sure that the fights go in the way of CIS Rejects. Weaver? The chase is on. Yeah, saving Private Pasha there, not really going as intended for CIS Reject. The second that they saw that the Terrorblade was low, they started going forward even harder, and now they won't have the meta. V Gaming, with that bit of a misplay coming out from CIS Rejects, they now have a timing where they could go forward. There is an Aegis for another 3 minutes on the side of CIS Rejects, but it's a good time to just go aggressive and make sure that the CIS Rejects don't do anything with this Aegis if you win a fight on the enemy part of the map. They have been really aggressive in the previous game. Let's see if they do have the confidence to do it here once again. And there's the smoke now from V Gaming, the one that they have to make when there's no meta, because when the meta is up, CIS Rejects, they can go high ground, and V Gaming, they're gonna attempt now to fight.
With honor.
Double damage.
guess the Aegis is expiring and CIS Rejects wants to make something happen there. They might have been expecting V Gaming to turn this one around, but we were being pretty low. I don't think that that was actually the case. So to me, it's looking like CIS Rejects, they want to push forward, but considering only 45 seconds left, I'm not sure they'll be able to. The DD will expire and Ramses is going forward. Let's see if he is really gonna go through with this high ground push. The answer, it's gonna be no. And coming back to V Gaming not having a response to the Terrorblade, we're forgetting about the Shadow Demon. If he disrupts the TB, which isn't that hard, you can disrupt his illusion as well. Those illusions are gonna be doing a lot of damage, and that could be the way of V Gaming. Just let the guy get fat, and then Ramses, he's gonna be giving all of his strength back to us.
I also just realized that I might have been muted for the last 5 minutes or so. Oh, that's
Really?
what happens sometimes. Yeah, you have been live, but I have not. I took a moment to cough and I forgot myself that, hey, I might not be actually live, but hey, I'm here again. So all my great points have been brought out. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Not like we've discussed anything super important here. I'm glad I have you here, Harry, because without you, we would have been doomed.
Yeah, okay, we're gonna be fine. Sorry, viewers, are gonna be hearing T-Panda again, and we're gonna be here casting together one more time. You could only hear me talking to myself for some time, I guess, but overall, we're back in it anyways. And to be honest, CIS Rejects, they had a really good lead with that Aegis, a really good way to end the game, but V Gaming, nice defense coming out from them. The good thing for CIS Rejects, though, they take out all of the outer towers. That's definitely gonna hinder the ability of V Gaming to mount up a defense. And now CIS Rejects, they can go for some 1-2 moves. Bottom lane, force the TPs, take the enemy triangle, and just wait for the Roche to spawn.
Punching through the living armor doesn't really stop this TV army from making their job done. 500 HP remaining. Now we have a BKB as well on this Terrorblade. Things are getting harder and harder, and CIS Rejects knows exactly if they just pump up this Terrorblade to max, he should be good. Lays spot in the top lane. Quick rotations. FNG trying to cut his way. They've spotted him with this scan. They put down the Tinker Ward, and they know he's still there. He's exactly on top. Lays now caught him in vision, and he charges out anyway. Ooh. Ooh.
That's a guy you don't want to be playing tag against, definitely, because you're definitely gonna be losing. So Usain Bolt out of his retirement there, now playing Dota, and Lays just way too fast there. It actually was quite close to FNG getting in. He went into the vision of the ward and then just immediately went under the trees again and getting out with a charge. So Lays, he does manage to survive that one. And again, he's wasting time of CIS Rejects. Now that move on the bottom lane when they were attacking the tower, they don't get the enemy triangle, they don't get the vision, and they won't be getting that much damage down into the tower because of the Treant Protector. So overall, the move of theirs, it's not gonna be giving much fruit just because of the beautiful move coming out from the Spirit Breaker.
Weaver now looking at a butterfly. TB is already 6 slotted, so there's no room for a Monkey King bar. At least right now. Might have to think about the option for it, since Rapier doesn't give True Strike anymore.
I don't think he has to focus.
I don't think he has to. I think everybody else just worries about the Weaver, that's true.
Ramses' job in this game is to stand his ground, like to come at me, right? Can you kill me? It's not about can he kill the other ones. Eventually, those hits are gonna go in. So he wants to be surviving throughout the whole fight. The other ones, they're gonna be fighting around him, jumping, using their spells. And Ramses, he just wants to stand his ground. Whoever gets close will get ripped apart in a matter of seconds. But man, he is 6 slotted. I just saw it, and 40 minutes in, this is a very, very farmed guy. What is next? Moonshard, Aghanim Scepter. I kind of feel like the Axe is a bit better than the Moonshard, and he can ask one of his teammates like, yo guys, I'm winning the game for you. Can you please use 4,000 of your gold effectively in this one?
FNG's found the enemy team, but they haven't found FNG. They found the wards though. Now he's TPing out. I love how they killed the sentry first. Left the ops ward up. But still, wards down, smoke up. The pressed kid's waiting on the high ground. Prime position. Posh is ready too. If they find themselves a good Burrow Strike Epicenter combo, that could be really dangerous for V Gaming. Onto the high ground. Pasha, they popped the Shadow Blade. He realizes something's up. And so it's also seen MLS will be used. There's the TB, and Pasha goes in. Doesn't use the Epicenter yet, but he's found the enemy at least. 6 seconds for another one. Ladies, look at that movement speed from Spirit Breaker. He's gonna get Yules into the air. Spirit Breaker gonna get caught inside the Fiend Script, and Treant Protectors down to CIS Rejects. They get 2 kills, looking for more. 2 seconds for another Astral Step. Depressed Kit, if he lands it perfectly, he finds one. He finds Haze. He's got the Lina. The Lina's gonna get caught, and that's a big one.
Yep, that's a really big one. Sure, you drop out a support, you drop out a Spirit Breaker. They have their buybacks, and you're like, okay, that's a solid turnaround for CIS Rejects, but then the Lina without the buyback gets caught. How much does he need? 1600 gold. He's not gonna be coming back into this one, but CIS Rejects, they're not gonna push forward immediately. The Roche will be up in 4 seconds, and if someone checks that, it will be disastrous for Wii Gaming playing against Double Life, possibly a Refresher, or even an Aghanims on the Terrorblade is still gonna be quite scary. And CIS Rejects, they will not be risking anything. They know that Roche is up. It's gonna be the Aghanim Scepter, probably given to Ramses, and we're gonna be seeing a very, very powerful TB. It's not like we already didn't do it, but now he'll have meta pretty much every single time that he wants.
When Ramses picks up the Aghanims, he's gonna have more thousands of gold per minute compared to the time we have on the clock right now. So if he takes the Aghanims, he should be going up to like 42k. Are they gonna give it to him? Yes, they are. Yes, he decides to grab it for himself. And 45,000 net worth 42 minutes into this game. TB is a very farmed boy. And Shadow Demon's gonna be a collateral, and he loses the gem for CIS Rejects. I've got a strong feeling we are looking to go to game number 3, but still V Gaming, they need a success. They need a successful defense.
Radiant's middle tower is being attacked.
Yeah, the V Gaming kind of have all of their core items, right? It's not like their lineup is gonna get too stronger, so them needing farm, it's not that big of a deal. Now, there's a Terror Wave used, and with a BKB TP out, not gonna be happening.
Not gonna happen. You're no longer safe, no matter where you are on this map right now. Mid, they've also spotted the Weaver, dropped the low HP, time lapse used. I'm almost starting to feel like you need to almost get a Aghanims on this Weaver, just so you get a lower cooldown on time lapse.
Yeah, might be the case. Anyways, coming back to Ramses here, the entirety of the game, he was the strongest one, but you could argue that he wasn't scary. Now with the Terror Wave, everyone on the side of E-Gaming, they're gonna be afraid of him. When he uses it, they'll just be running away. And that's not the way that you want to approach it. Still, going up the hill against the heroes that are ready to fight, it's never that easy, but this Terrorblade is still gonna be a force to be reckoned with. They need a disruption. They need those TP illusions if they're to fight.
Look at, he wants to go, but he also sees the void on the low ground. If this Shadow Demon crosses a given line, Depressed Kid is going to be on his heels right away. And now there's even more heroes right behind him. And they found exactly the hero they wanted to go on. SD gets hit by the Astral Step, takes a couple hundred damage right in that quick instant. Ramses Lincolns runs off. He's got another one on him. Pasha baiting with the Epicenter. You better be afraid. If the Spirit Breaker was roaring at the SK when he was level 8 and SK was level 6, I feel like him slapping his tail on the ground is more like a karate move at this point. Come at me, bro.
Yeah, more like a taunt from Pasha, who was still is 1-8 in this game. He has been bullied for the entirety of it, but finally the big brother did come in to kind of even the score. And Ramses, he is almost doubling the Weaver in terms of net worth. 45 minutes in, it's way too much. 50,000. This guy is so stacked. V-Gaming just don't have a response for him. And CIS Rejects, they're trying to make a jump, because if the Shadow Demon dies, there's just no fight for V-Gaming.
How dare you punch me? I'm gonna bring out my big brother to help me. Depressed Kid finds Antoa, and that's a dead Treant Protector. And Sand King, he's got a pretty relaxed game right now. Pasha's just loading up that Epicenter, just considering and thinking and timing it, enjoying as Ramses does all the hard lifting right now. His work here is done. Treant Protector with the buyback. V-Gaming, their chances are very slim right now. They need to get a successful win. Ramses goes in with a Swift Blink, and they found the Weaver. The Vision's going to be there, but Disruption save's going to be canceling the Fiend Script. They can't get the disruption on this TV, though. They want to. They really want to. They can't get to him. Ramses still unkilled this game. 603. Hayes hits her level 25 talent, who's got that extra attack range. Depressed Kid. Trying to bully, trying to catch the Lina. They've lost the melee racks. The damage has been dealt with the buyback from the Treant Protector. That's one less for the future minutes.
You know, you kind of would think that CIS Rejects, they're telling their Bane, yo, FNG, go use your Fiend's Grip, so they use the defensive disruption. I don't want them, I don't want playing against my own illusions, right? So, I kind of feel like that's the idea of the Fiend's Grip right now, just force out the disruption. The Weaver, he uses a 9-second BKB, which he just bought for fighting. That's just the supports pushing it out. They just want to go further right now. CIS Rejects, they smell blood, and they want to draw it right now.
Jules has been used, the BKB, and that's going to be the Treant Protector dieback. 9 Pasha, he's going for the epicenter, looking for the Lina, but he's going to cancel it as soon as he sees that BKB pop from the Lina. Hayes tries to make a run for it, but Ramses is not allowing him to escape, and that's a dead Lina for 100 seconds. That should be it. That should be it for CIS Rejects. Plays with another charge on the back. Ramses gets a timely Sunder out. Shadow Poison stacks are applying, and again, protected by Lincolns. So many Lincolns this game. They can't get to touch this Terrorblade. He's still got Aegis. He still has Cheese. He still has BKB. What can you do when you can do absolutely nothing?
Well, they're spawning their strongest heroes, but Weaver gets gone on.
Yep, this is just the end of the story here for V Gaming here in game number 2. GG is called. And like we kind of suspected and hoped to see, we might see a tight series. We're going to a third. CIS Rejects, they didn't let that game 1 disappoint them at all. They've come prepared, they've become ready. And now you just gotta hope that V Gaming came prepared for this, because we're going the full distance of 3 games.
Yeah, I think CIS Rejects here, they just played it safe for the entirety of the game. They did get a little bit frustrated of not getting the any of the tier 1s down. You could see they were trying to go for kills, but still, in all of those aggressive moves, the Pressed Kid was not dying. The ones dying were the supports. It was Pasha, but he was staying alive. Only 3 deaths, being on the aggressive for the entirety of the game. 47 minutes of it. The Pressed Kid really impressed in this one. And yes, Ramses, his shoulders and back is gonna be sore, but hopefully he can stretch it out a little bit and be ready for game 2 as well.
On the positive side, FNG is no longer the hero with the highest hero damage for CIS Rejects, so things went accordingly. Ramses 26,000 building damage along with the hero damage he dealt, but Depressed Kid, you gotta be admired, and you really have to highlight that 41.5k damage he's dealt this game. Has had his hands filled with all the action. When Pasha's been taking the baits, the Pressed Kid has been going in on those openings provided by the Sand King, going in for kills, getting those kills, making some really good nimble moves around, knowing his importance, knowing the way he needs to go with this Void Spirit, targeting the right heroes against V Gaming, and stretching the game far enough for this Terrorblade to get online. And I don't know if online is the word that even describes this monster of a Terrorblade this game, because Ramses went on a 10-0-4.
I'm kind of just, I don't want to talk about it because, you know, it scares me.
You don't have to.
You know, I'm very brave, but this thing, it scares me, and it should scare all of you if you are playing against this or even with it. Imagine if it just turns against you, it could destroy you in a second. And Arrow, he tried to make it happen with the disruption, but in the end, to no avail. Ramses, he stood his ground, protected his team, and in the end, easily overcame anything that V Gaming had to throw at him. But still, V Gaming, they showed a lot in this game. They showed they know how to play their lineup, kind of not shutting down the hero that they should there. But even if that did happen, it's not 100% certain that Ramses wouldn't have taken this game. So overall, we definitely have ourselves a series here, and it will be game number 3 here, Panda.
It will be, and now we're back on track. Our final game after the break for V Gaming versus CIS Rejects.